Today we're going to talk about solar stuff. And the solar stuff we're going to talk about is the beginner stuff. And I needed to do one of these for you guys, and I'm just going to try to explain everything about it. So let's take a quick look at some things that you have to have. Well, you have to have some type of battery if you're going to do an off-grid solar array where you have, solar power. You're going to need, this is a lithium ion battery. And these you can find out of laptop packs. These are cheap. Basically, you can find these for next to nothing. And then you turn it into something like this. And then you have a lithium battery pack. That is a lithium ion. And there's other type of lithium battery packs. You should get a 100 watt soldering iron if you're going to do this one. Then you're going to want to get, or you could get the remote control car kind of lithium battery pack. This is a 8,000 milliamp 2S battery pack. It's got 4 cells in it, but it's 2S. The 4 cells are 4 of these packs, 2 of them in series, 2 of them in parallel. And if you didn't want to go with that type of method, you can go with the traditional type of method, which is like this. This is an AGM battery pack, 12 volts. And here's another AGM battery pack that's 12 volts. So both of these are lead acid and they're absorbed glass mat batteries. They're non-spillable. There's no fluid in it. The fluid is on the mats. That's why they say absorbed glass mat, hence the name absorbed glass mat. Now, if you wanted to take some of those, these packs apart, this is, laptop battery, this is where you get them. Also, you're going to want to get a meter, an electric meter. Meter is friend. Your friend is meter. Meter will help you not die. And meter will keep you company when you're lonely. And if the meter tries to touch you, tell meter, no Uncle Bad Touch. But meter is friend. You're going to want to get an inverter. Here's an inverter here. This is a UPS power supply inverter. This is a pure sine wave inverter. And if you're going to do a solar array and you're going to run small electronics on it, for instance, your phone, your camera battery chargers, whatever, it needs to be pure sine wave. If you get a modified sine wave, you're making a mistake. I'll display some stuff. The difference, pure sine wave is nice and smooth. Modified sine wave is jagged. And the jagged one is what's going to kill your electronics. So expect to buy stuff all the time if you're going to get a cheap inverter. You could go find a UPS like this one on eBay that's a pure sine wave. This is like 160 watts, okay, 160 watts. And the part number is ONE 254AGSE. Now, this is not an excellent inverter because it doesn't have a lot of power. But you can hook up anything that is below 167 watts, okay? And it'll run it and it won't tear it up, okay? So that's the safe thing to do. Go find you a cheap inverter if you can't afford an expensive one. I bet you can get that on eBay for 50 to 100 bucks. It may have a dead battery. You open the pack up, you take the pack out. You take the pack out that's bad, you hook up a 12 volt battery, a GM battery to it, and then you put it back together. You can buy a replacement to put in there. but I would just get a bigger battery because bigger is always better with batteries. Once you're done with that, you have to go look at a solar panel. Now let's take a look real quick at a solar panel. This is a 100 watt polycrystalline solar panel. This is friend. Solar panel is friend. The more friends of these you have, the happier you'll be in the end of the solar array. Without lots of these friends, you are sad because the solar array doesn't work good and it's not a happy solar array. So lots of friends equals lots of happy. This is a charge controller. This is providing electricity to my solar array. It provides it during the daytime when I have solar power. So the solar panel sends electricity here, and then it takes the electricity from here and it sends it into the battery bank. Once it's in the battery bank, we can then use our inverter, which is this inverter here. This is a MagnaSine pure sine wave inverter. I'm happy with it. It seems to do a very good job, and it never lags behind and says, I can't do it, it's too hard. It just does it. So, just showing you, this is my Magnum that runs. It does the job, but we've already talked about inverters. Pure sine wave is the only way to go. So, our classic charge controller is the last thing. It takes the power, sends it into our battery bank, and then you use the inverter to run off of the battery bank. Pretty simple, not too hard, and it's a happy array when you got lots of panels. Big charge controller can do big battery banks. I've got a large battery bank, and this charge controller by itself charges 78 batteries in about 3 hours. Pretty happy with it. It does a good job. So if you like the video, share it, subscribe, and comment down below. This is solar power, electricity, and electronics. Philip 20 signing out. See you next time.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for watching all the way to the end of the video. There's lots more content coming. Click the subscribe button below. Make sure you come back for more because there's great content always coming up every day in this channel. See you next time. Peace.